You know, unfortunately, I never got a chance to play a playoff game here, and when they talked about the 06 Cup run and, you know, how amazing the fans were, you see that in a night like that, it was just a special night.
It was kind of a funny night, just because obviously we were playing the Hawks, and we had seemed to have their number all year. Every time we played them, we were, you know, offensively breaking out.
I didn't feel like I had a great first, and the lines got changed after the first period, and they put me with Taylor and Jordan, and we talked about you know, simplifying things and being a little better in the second, and you know, after that, everything just seemed to go in.
I actually started on a line with Hork and Hemmer for that game, and then Tom switched it to me, Ebbs, and Gags in the second period, and we got a couple goals.
Oaks cleared by Gagner. Beautiful stretch pass to Hall. He's in, he shoots, scores! What a stretch pass, and Taylor Hall buries it. Gagner found him, time of the goal, 2:22.
That night was crazy. The Oilers get one. I think Sam threw one up ice to Taylor Hall. He kind of didn't get off the greatest shot, but it beat Corey Crawford, or it could have been Ray Emery, because they were getting yanked back and forth against the Oilers. It was crazy.
Everly, Gagner tried to feed it across. Letty broke down a back and Gagner ties it up.
Any goal scorer will tell you, if you get a goal early in the game, it kind of helps you settle in and relax a little bit. And you know, obviously when you're able to put up a few, you start to play with a little more confidence, and the game starts to come a little slower to you, and that's the way that game seemed to go.
I think it might be a knack that takes its time to develop in a coach. Yeah. You know, to have that feel, to have that intuitive feel for the game and who's going and who isn't. This was one of those nights where right out of the gate, he had a hop in his stride that everyone saw, no question about that. And when he was 3 or 4 points in, we knew we had something pretty special going.
Whitney didn't get all on it. Rebound, score! It was just sitting there, and Sam Gagner pounds it home for his second goal tonight, his 4th point, and the Oilers are back in front 4-3.
We just stood back and leaned against the glass, and we just, I remember telling Sean Horkoff, I said, Sean, like, you know, just keep getting them out there, whatever. Just put them on the line, whatever you want to do. And because it was going, we were going to win the game. They weren't very good that night, Chicago. And I recall vividly just sitting back, leaning against the glass, and the guys were yelling out Sam's name. We didn't have to say a thing, and it was fun. It was an awful lot of fun to just kind of watch the team coach themselves. They knew something very, very special was happening, and we were as much the spectators as the people that paid the money to watch.
Now Taylor Hall streaking in behind Robertson. Hall centers it, Gagner shoots, scores! Hat-trick, Sam Gagner, 6.9. Sam Gagner's got the hat-trick. He has 6 points tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. The hats come tumbling on the Rexall ice surface.
That was amazing. I mean, I remember, and the goals weren't like lucky bouncing goals. They were like highlight quality goals. I remember being like, this is amazing. I can't believe I'm witnessing this right now. This is crazy. But that was definitely a special night. You know, that's another one that definitely goes up there.
After the hat-trick goal, it kind of set in for me what was kind of going on. It was definitely you know, a night you remember forever, and you know, one that I still talk about with those guys, and it was definitely a lot of fun.
And Sam Gagner with the out-of-body experience, and just the way he played that night and the way everything kind of fell into place. Obviously one of the greatest individual performances that I'll ever see and that anyone will ever see.
That night he was like Gretzky or Coffey, you know, where every time he touched the puck he was either going to score a goal. And you know, Sam's not a goal scorer, and he got 4 goals in the game.
I remember in the 3rd period, me, Sam, and Taylor, we scored, I think it was 4 shifts in a row. And you know, by about the 6th, 7th point he had, we started to, you know, ask questions. You know, what are the records? Like, is he getting close? And someone had mentioned 8 would tie it.
One thing that we knew of and were thinking of was the incredible company that he was now in, with scoring 8 points, and that's, you know, that's mind-boggling when you think of the great careers you know, that so many have had for, you know, for that matter, and Sam was right there with some very, very special Oilers. Boy, I know that Sam Gagner felt awfully good about himself that night, and he deserved to.
Over the line, finds Taylor Hall, high slot, dishing for Gagner. Gagner back to Eberle, score! Sam Gagner's tied a club record! 8 points in a single game! He joins Wayne Gretzky and Paul Coffey! How's that for company? The Oilers have doubled up the Hawks! 8-4 Edmonton! And oh, by the way, Jordan Eberle gets the goal!
I think it was the 8th point, just the look on his face. He wasn't happy, he wasn't, he was just like in shock, and I think everyone was. I've never seen anything like that. The fans in the building were going crazy, and he didn't know how to react because it was just like, is this really happening?
How crazy and how loud this building was. And then, you know, 3 stars, they gave him the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st stars. So, you know, it was amazing to be a part of that.
I had 4 points and didn't get a star. Gags got all 3 stars, so I wasn't mad at all. He was so deserving of that, and I remember his locker after the game was just filled with hats. You couldn't fit one more hat in there. It was awesome.
You know, towards the end, they started chanting my name, and I don't think there's any way you can kind of recreate that feeling. It's definitely a special moment, one that I'll remember. I heard from Paul Coffey, Wayne Gretzky. You know, obviously those guys have busy lives and they don't have to take their time out to text me or call me, and to hear from them was pretty amazing.